All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Wake Up Homeschool Parents morning session. We're so happy to have you here with us, and we're so excited to share with you the information that we have to share with you today. We really do get asked, I know I do, in Facebook messages and people contacting me constantly, and I'm sure Michelle and Zabelina do too. If you haven't, it's going to start. And they're going to ask you how, I've been thinking about doing this homeschool thing with my kids, but I just don't know where to start. I don't know where to go for help, and what does it take to be a homeschooling or unschooling parent. So we want to share with you, maybe a little bit of our journey of how we got started and some resources that you can use to help you get started as well. So let's pop on over. Michelle, when you decided to check out this whole homeschooling thing, because you're fairly new, where did you start, and how did you get going? Have to share.
I actually started just by watching the commercials on TV, and it was pretty interesting because you start seeing like the K through 12 and all that kind of stuff, the programs that are out there. It was like, okay, Scott, my husband, and I, we both knew that when we had Jackie that we wanted to homeschool her. We didn't want to put her through the public school system and everything else like the other 7 kids before her. So it's like, let's dare to do something different with her. And so I started, researching on that, and then I had actually one of the guys in one of my disabled communities, he got to talking to me about it and sent me the link and everything else, and then going through the stuff that we all do with Wake Up Now and everything else, I got in contact with you there, Kimberly, and that just really ignited, because then it was like, then I got put into watching the stuff that was going on with you and Zabelina and the rest of them for doing all the homeschool stuff, and it was like, okay, wait a minute, now I know where to go to find out all my information and test the different things and figure out, okay, who's done what, who's doing what does work, what doesn't work, and then how to customize it all. So I actually then shifted to you guys. So I'm one of those ones, questions, okay, where do I go?
Awesome. So you really just took the bull by the horns and plugged into people around you and started checking out who around me is doing what I want to do, which is a great way to just dip your toe in the water or dive in, either way, and get going. All right. Now we're going to pop up north over to the beautiful Zabelina and her experience, because she's done things a little bit different than traditional homeschooling. She's done a little bit of both, but she's got some ideas that I'm hoping she'll cover some co-op stuff for us today. Zabelina.
Hi guys, good morning. Wow, Michelle, I had no idea that you were watching us. You see there, that's very encouraging. Well, yeah. I mean, I have 3 kids, so I took them out when they were, I believe my daughter's 17 now, and she was 12. She was like in the 7th grade when I took her out. And I looked it up. I looked up online. How the heck do you homeschool? What do you do? It was introduced to me by a friend of mine. She was actually a pastor's wife. Her daughter homeschooled, and I was just captivated by the way her daughter carried herself. She was 15, and she could hold a conversation with an adult. She wasn't running from you, and she was just really, she was awesome. So, sorry guys. So here we go again with the phones. Anyway, so I started to look up. Over here in New Jersey, we have something called the NJHSA, which that's the New Jersey Homeschool Association. I love it. It's a very small fee for the entire year. You get in, and they've got access to so many activities, so many co-ops, people that are in your area. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of families that homeschool here in New Jersey, and it's kind of common here in New Jersey. So I plugged in to them. At first I didn't. At first I was very much alone, and that was that was a very heavy weight on my shoulders. And the only people that I did connect in terms of homeschooling were the people in my church. So I did connect with them, and they had some dance. They had dance schools that were actually for homeschoolers. They had sports that were for homeschoolers. It was awesome. We've got a lot of awesome resources here for our family. But yeah, I signed up for the NJHSA, and I've been with them ever since. And like I said, I can choose whatever co-op I'd like. They have proms, which are really cool. You know, the homeschool proms for the kids. You know, I'm excited. I'm excited. We've got so much to share with you guys today. So, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So you're saying, Zevelina, that there's actually things out there for our kids to do? Because I kind of got hit. I got hit this last week with a, we'll just put it this way, a caring and concerned family member about my kids being socialized, and we'll hit that topic another week. But so you're telling me that your kids aren't misfits?
Woo! They are not misfits, let me tell you. My son, so funny because for years since we started homeschooling, I mean, they're around adults. They carry adult conversations all day long, and they're with their children. I mean, I'm sorry, y'all, the coffee hasn't kicked in yet. They're with their brothers and sisters as well, and they hang out with all sorts of children from ages 5 to ages 18, 21, you know, so they're exposed to all kinds of different people. But no, no, my kids will talk to you. You know, my husband would take my son to Applebee's and sit there during the football season, and my son was probably like 12 years old, 13, and he would carry conversations with all the men there. And they were just like, what's up with this kid? You know, like, who the heck is he? He goes out into the town, and he gets along better with the adults than he does with the children. So, I mean, that's the only downfall, that, you know, the kids, when they do get together, they're a little, their mindset is off. So, but, you know, they're good kids. They're wonderful kids, you know?
Right, right.
There's so much for them to do. So, actually, if you want to homeschool, and you get yourself into a group, there will be so much that you're going to be doing that will probably take away from the whole textbooky portion of the homeschool that you think that you should be providing for your children. So you're going to be busy. You know, it's awesome.
Right, right. I hear you. I know it reminds me, recently my kids just, they did a little program at church with the other kids and stuff, and there was my youngest son is 5 years old, and it just was almost startling to me that his speech and everything was just different. He didn't have kind of, you know, I'm not putting down anyone else's child or anything like that. He just spoke more securely and more, you know, not like baby talk.
Yeah,
you know,
eloquently, I guess you could say. Uses bigger words than most.
It was kind of funny because he went up and they had one of the adults there to help the kids if they needed help with their parts. And before he said his, he told her, he says, "I don't need any help. I know my part." So he's quite the little whippersnapper. But I want to go a little bit different direction right now and backtrack, if you will, just a little bit. And I want to start with when you want to get started and you decide to get started. That's what it is. It starts with that, the decision. Because it's something that it's not, you don't want to say, I'm going to try this out. I'm just going to try it for a few weeks. You need to make the commitment. You need to decide and give it a year. Because I'm going to say it's not for some people, and they find out it's not for their family, and it's not something they can do. But give it a year. Because it's going to take, you know, one of the rules of thumb, I guess, if you will, is that however long, you know, your kids have been in school is how many months it's going to take to unlearn the traditions of regular schooling. So, you know, our kids never went to traditional school necessarily, so we didn't have to do that. But when we pulled them out of virtual academies and started doing things a bit different, it took some time. I saw that. I saw how it took some time to adjust to a different learning style, a different way of life, including all of our children into the learning experience, the learning environment. You know, they have their grades per se that they keep, so that when someone out in the unknowing public says, what grade are you in, they know what grade they should be in. But technically, we don't really go by grades in our home. And another thing you're going to learn is there's so many different styles. There's so many different curriculums. There's so many different things that you can choose from. And just start dedicating yourself. Try a curriculum or a non-curriculum for 30 days. If that's not working, then adjust over to something else. And you'll find what works for your family. It just may not be the same. And most of the times, it's not the same. I don't think there's two families that do anything the same in homeschooling or unschooling or road schooling, whatever the case may be. It's always just a little bit different because every family's different. Every child is different. What I do for one child may be different than what I do for another child. So it's, we do in our home, like I said, we do a lot together, but there's certain things that they do separately. There's certain things that they do on their own. Zabelina mentioned the state website, and most of the states, I don't know about every single one, but I know a lot of them do have homeschooling sites that you can join. If you take a look at HSLDA, I think it's .org, that will give you a start. That's the homeschool, kind of the overall homeschool. They talk about the different laws in the state. So if you're wanting to know, is it legal in my state? What are the rules? Because some states they're a little more strict on what you have to do and what you have to keep track of, and so you want to be aware of that because you want to be on board. And even our state here in Arizona, there's not a lot of rigid guidelines or really anything, but I would recommend that you keep track of what you're doing in a notebook, online, somewhere. Keep track so that if you're ever questioned, what are your kids learning? What do you do every day? We had a funny little joke I put on Facebook the other day, and it had what my neighbors think I do, and it shows the kids sleeping in bed all day, and what my friends think I do, and it shows the kids at a playground working or at an amusement park on the rides, and what society thinks I do, and it showed like an Amish family all rigid and lined up at the chalkboard, and it just went through all these different things. So you just want to be able to show, if you were ever questioned legally, that yes, we do something every day. We're learning, we're growing, and kind of monitor. Our kids this was something they wanted. They wanted grades, and I don't know if it's from watching TV, but they want me to write like A and circle it on their paper. It has to be circled.
They're always striving for the A+. What we did is actually created a template that basically has each of the individual subjects that we're learning, and we can customize that. And then what it does is put the percentage in, or whatever percentage they get, and it will automatically figure out what actually letter grade that is as well. So it figures out the averages of everything. And if you're interested in that template, I'd be glad to provide that for you.
So definitely, and you can model it for yourself. Now I'm going to jump over to a different area and just ask Michelle, how is your classroom set up? I mean, you probably have like a separate room all set up with desks and bookshelves and all that kind of thing, and it's just like a classroom in a public school, right, Michelle?
No. And actually, truthfully, I go off of Jackie's mood for the day. Because depending on her mood is going to depend on where we are. Because I found that with her, there's so many easier ways to get her motivated if she's not in the same place every day, if she's not sitting in the hole. And I guess that's the difference between her and the kids that went through the public school too, because other than watching TV, she doesn't know what public school is. She doesn't know what the classrooms per se are supposed to look like, other than like some of the historical ones that we've gone through with some of our things that we've been starting to introduce her with school. and she gets to see the old, like the one-room schoolhouses and stuff like that. That's probably the closest that she's really seen to, okay, school can be this way kind of thing. But no, I mean, one day she'll be in my office sitting at the desk going through and doing stuff there. Another day she'll be at the kitchen table. Another day we'll be sitting outside on the front porch. Another time it'll be while we're going, down the road on our next field trip to whatever she's going to be learning that day. So, no, sorry, no classroom set up here.
No rigid classrooms then.
No.
So you're thinking outside the box, right?
Oh yeah. Well, and I find that she wants to learn more then. She wants to do more. She sticks to things longer because, I mean, as you guys know, even with having multiple kids at the different ages, they've only got their mindset stays on one thing at each age for only so long, and then they're distracted or they've had enough or what's next. And I find that especially doing like the different spaces and areas and places, she wants to do it longer. I mean, there's sometimes it's almost, you have a hard time some days actually saying, okay, let's go do something else, or why don't you go outside and play for a little while, or something else, because she does actually get wrapped up in it when you actually let them do the things that really start to trigger their minds and creativity. So, yeah, nope, sorry.
That's awesome. I love that. That is another one of my favorite places to do school is outside, because there's so much involved in outside. There's science. There's science all around you. What was that?
That's why I'm outside now. I hang out outside all the time.
And it's refreshing. You get that fresh air and all of that going with the outside stuff. That's another thing that we do is going different places. I love the field trip idea. You get so much involved when you can get out. In fact, I was telling my husband last night, I was like, we need to go do something outside or do something different. We need to
change of scenery is always good.
Yep. And so,
it's been neat. We've had that here because with my husband had just started a new job after we moved down here, and he's hauling logs for some of these pulp mills that are down here. Well, the pulp mills are the ones where they end up taking a lot of it, and the one place is actually one of the paper mills. So he actually is setting it up with one of the guys. That'll be one of her next field trips. She'll get to go to the paper mill to see what it's all about, see where all these logs the daddy, and she also gets the fun part of one of the guys that he runs the tractor trailers with actually also has the cotton fields and stuff. So he actually told Scott that, go ahead, I'll let you know what day we're going to do it, bring her, and we'll actually let her come see what it's all about, pick some of the cotton, the whole bit. So I'm absolutely loving the field trips, because when he told the gentleman that we were going to homeschool Jackie, he was like, oh, yeah, we've had kids do tours and stuff like that before and that kind of stuff, so we can definitely set something up. So it's like, yay.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. I know we've had some really enriching experiences going places that you wouldn't normally go or not able to do, because if your kids are in traditional public school, a lot of the things are busy, they're crowded after school, right? The kids are out. But during the day, you really get more one-on-one, hands-on kind of activities that you can do with field trips and that type of thing. And I just wanted to add another place. My kids do school in bed. Maybe they're lazy daisies or what, but yesterday, they were doing flashcards and practicing their, doing games, practicing their multiplication and telling time skills and all of that, making it into a game and having fun, and they were on their bed. And I'm totally okay with that. So wherever they want to be, where they can learn, we do have, in our home, we have 4 computer stations set up, one for each kid, and they have, a desk area and stuff when it's cleaned off. So they have that option that they can go to and do things. But most generally, we're gathered around the kitchen table or in the car, all that kind of different environments, outside, wherever we're at. That's where we're learning. All right, Sabelina, how's your rigid classroom set up?
You guys are funny. You're hilarious. Well, when I first started to homeschool, I did set up the whole classroom because I really thought that that's how I was supposed to do it. You know, when you homeschool, you come to find out that you yourself have to be deschooled as well. So your family has to go through a process of deschooling, and that's basically getting into the mindset of knowing and trusting that the world itself is your classroom, whether that be, you know, Google or YouTube University or going outside, taking a trip to grandma's house, whatever it may be. These kids are constantly always learning. It's just like when they were little, when they were babies, they learned how to walk. All you did was just help them a little. You know, it's natural. And I did set up the chalkboard. I set up the table. I set up the bookshelves and everything. And let me tell you, it worked for a little bit, and then we all just got burned out. And I did try to provide the 6-hour environment that they would go to. Well, you know, in the morning we're going to do this, 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 that, and the other. And then, hey, so that works for some people. You know, some people are very rigid in that sense, because I've seen some families that they are. And that works for them. But there are some families that are completely relaxed, and that works for them too. It's like what you were saying, Kimberly. Everything, you know, you just got to figure out what works for your family. I came to find out very quickly that I had to really kind of search within the dynamics of my family. And that's one of the perks of homeschooling. You get to know your family as a whole. You know, you get to know your children as individuals and how they thrive, and they're all so different. It's amazing to me. But you know what? I'm about to throw a curveball here, because since January we have not had a car, so we've been home. And so you think, oh my God, what have your children been doing? What have they been learning? Oh my God, you know. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. So my daughter, my 11-year-old, she is connected with a few other friends who unschool, homeschool, whatever, through the internet. My daughter, she loves art, she loves to dance, she does love to read. So how does she read? How does she do all of these things? What about math? What about this? What about that? She cooks with us, you know. So she is constant, and she cooks by herself too. She'll say, "Mom, I want to bake a cake." So you know, you gotta you take the measuring cups and stuff like that, so she knows how to do all that. You know, she goes online and she talks to her friends, she types to her friends, she types the real words, like Y-O-U, not you. You know what I mean? So I'm very big on that. I'm like, guys, spell correctly when you text and when you type, because believe it or not, that actually helps out a lot. That, and also a friend of hers, believe it or not, they like to watch this show called The Walking Dead. We're so, let me tell you, we're like huge fans of The Walking Dead. So he's 12 years old, and he got this idea that he was going to create his own book of The Walking Dead, his own series, and it became so popular with all of these. It's like it's a community of kids and just different people who want to write, and they feel like they're inspired. They're authors, you know, ranging from 5 all the way to I don't know how old. And they log in, and they have all kinds of different books that you can read, all kinds of different series. And my daughter reads them. She's connected with an unschooled girl who likes to write poetry. She's connected with her friend who he writes these series, and my daughter's in the series. She's one of the characters. So it keeps them going, it keeps them motivated, it keeps them reading, you know. And all of this, she's doing it on her own. I'm not saying anything. I'm not pushing her. So she's reading, you know, she's expanding her creativity. She draws. She goes on YouTube. She looks up tutorials, stuff like that. She looks up tutorials on dancing. So she's a choreographer. If you watch her, you're like amazed. So you know, it was a little nerve-wracking. Now my son, Oh, well, he's 14 or 13. All he's going to do is play video games all day long. You bet your behind he did. And guess what came out of it? I'll tell you what came out of it. He said, Mom, I want this game. It's called Grand Theft Auto 5, right? Some people are like, oh my God, that game is the devil. And then some people are like, that's, for grown but adults and stuff like that. But you know what? I said, okay, I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to let him know, I'm just going to sit there and just kind of watch, but not be over his shoulder like, oh, what are you doing? Whoa, look at that. No, just watching the game. Oh, cool, cool. So in the game, there's real estate, and in the game, there's stocks. So he started to purchase real estate and sell it. He started to learn about stocks. So much that he actually went into the stock market online, and he started to learn for himself what stocks were. Now his father is interested in stocks, and now he wants to actually take the test, which I believe is like the 3rd hardest test in the world. So things evolve, things come out of it. You just got to allow this to happen naturally. Now my 17-year-old, she's just into fashion, getting pretty. She changes 5 days out of the, 5 times out of the day. And so it's a little nerve-wracking. And you say, oh my God, what is she doing? What is she going to do with her life? She's 17 years old. So just recently she came to me and she said, Mom, so many people are just so clueless as to what's happening in the world. And especially Americans. Americans want this American dream, and they're all out for themselves. They want the house and the cars and the 2.5 kids. And that's fine, and that's dandy, and we could all have that. But there's real stuff going on out in the world, and I feel like I need to be a voice. There you go. So you just follow that. What is it that she wants? What is it that she wants to pursue? So all of these things, and you would think, oh my God, my children, they're going to be illiterate, they're going to be uneducated. No, they're finding themselves. My son loves football. Last year he didn't play because he was afraid for some reason because they were a little older. He said, Mom, they're a little older, they're going to hit me a little harder, and I don't know. I didn't beat him up for that. I said, I respect your decision, so let's just chill. And he did. And this year, guys, he's a captain and the quarterback of his team. He went in. Yeah, with that assurance, and why? Because he reads the books that we read. We read Think and Grow Rich. We read How to Win Friends and Influence People. All of these books, he listens to them in audio. So the child is empowered. Now here's the thing. I'm about to get on a little side note. You're going to have a lot of people who are going to oppose. They're going to be against what it is that you're doing. I have in-laws who are against it. He went to Florida, and his cousins, they all went to college. They did the school. They went to college, and he was just there hanging out with them. It was summertime. He was hanging out with them, and they were concerned. And the reason why they were concerned because he was there for about 3 months. So if he were there for about 2 weeks, they wouldn't have been so concerned about his education. But he was there for 3 months. It was his decision. He wanted to go. I honored it. And they said, it's been 3 months, and I know that you guys homeschool. Do you have any papers? Do you have anything that you want to send them? Do you have any books? Anything. The child were concerned. And then his cousin said, if you want to drive my car, because he's 14 now, she said, if you want to learn how to drive my car, you have to write me a 2-page essay. And he's like, I don't want to do that. And he felt insulted because he's thinking, you're undermining or you're questioning my education, right? And how smart I am. So we got into this big fuss. And I'm saying all that to say this. When you talk to my son will talk your ear off for 2 hours. If you write that down, you'll have your own book. Now, I tell him this, son, there are motivators. There are public speakers who get paid $50,000 for each time they go to speak. You continue to read your books, you continue to speak, you continue to motivate, and you just stick to that. Someone else can write the book for you. All right? Now, you probably think, oh my God, Lena, why would you do that to your son? It doesn't matter. When they grow up, they're going to learn. They're going to learn these things. You got to trust your children. So that's what we do. That's how we roll, and it's amazing to see what comes out of it.
I love that,
That's
Lena.
awesome.
Will you put that group, the author group, like in the notes section of the Hangout, or we'll have a resource page or something, because I have to touch on that, because my daughter, my 12-year-old daughter, I'm just interested. It may be the same group she's in, because they have this little show that they watched. It's H2O. It was about mermaids and stuff. And she took those characters and did a spin-off series where she's writing. And it was kind of funny, because one of my other daughters said, Mom, it was all secret at first. Because I don't know why they thought they were going to be in trouble, or probably because I want to approve every website that they go to, and stuff first. But one of my daughters said, Mom, Savannah has a book. Did you know Savannah has a book?
Like, what?
I'm like, okay. I'm glad my love for writing passed on to at least one of my kids. I said, well, I'd like to check it out. And yeah, she has a book. She has several chapters. She has people that follow her and are reading it. And if she takes too long to put a new chapter out, she has people contacting her saying, hey, when are you going to add to your book? When are you going to write some more? So, schooling, and she loves it. We don't have to force her to do. She'll ask me, now that I know, she'll ask me, Mom, can I go write on my book? I'm like, oh, honey, you don't have to ask that. you can do that whenever you want. And yesterday they love our business, and this is a great segue into business. But they love trying to figure out how to help us and what they can do, and they want to earn money too. Lena, you mentioned Think and Grow Rich. Well, our kids each have a major definite purpose that they wrote out, and they have their money goal that they want to achieve. And they've been thinking about ways, how can I make this money? So now that they've come across the idea, well, how can I help Mom and Dad in marketing and maybe earn some money? And I'd much rather pay my kids than somebody off Fiverr to do stuff. And so we sat down with them and we showed them a little bit how, and my oldest daughter was doing this on her own fan pages. She does Facebook fan pages. And so she sat down yesterday, or the day before, last couple of days, and she's been teaching her sisters to do memes and make the memes for our Facebook fan pages. And we've been talking about engaging our audiences on the fan pages. What kind of questions can you ask? What kind of hashtags would people search for that would relate to this post? And start thinking about those kind of things. And they're having a blast with it, because they're artistic, so they love searching out and finding pictures and different things that can go with the thoughts and ideas and quotes and that kind of thing. So they're having a blast just learning this marketing. And to us, I mean, we look at, there's so many things that you can teach, and we do teach science and we teach history. We think it's important that they know where they came from and know the history of things. So we do that. But really what we look at is what's going to help them in their future. What's going to help them to bring an income into their families and into their households. Because it's our 5-year-old the other day, he came to me and he said, Mama, I don't want a job when I grow up. And I said, yay, that's good, honey. And he said, yeah, Mom. He goes, I want to just play video games all day. He's been into watching, the Legos, and like Indiana Jones, and he's 5, and he went and found on, and we had this, I think we might have mentioned this last week, but he was found on YouTube how to play the games, and he found that himself, tutorials about how to play the games. And he goes, I want to do that when I grow up. I want to just play videos and do tutorials for people on how to play them. Now, some of you out there might be thinking, oh my gosh, how can you make money with that? Oh, but they do. Why would a grown adult cut a tutorial about how to play a video game if they weren't going to make money? I mean, let's think about that.
And it's got thousands and thousands
of views.
Yeah.
Those people are marketing. Those people are selling those games. Those people are, selling products related to those games, whether it's through Amazon or whatever. They're marketing when they're playing those games.
It's as simple as just putting an affiliate link inside the description, and after the person watches the video, they click on the description. If that person buys the product, the person who made it, the tutorial, gets paid. And that's as simple as it is.
So he can have a career at that. He can bring income to his family doing that. So if he wants to play video games when he grows up, more power to him. So that leads us to, why would you want to have a home business if you're homeschooling? Do we keep it all at home? why not? Although we're not always at home. We're out and about. We do our business just like we do our school, wherever we are. And that leads us to, what are some ideas? Let's brainstorm here. And I'm not going to ask you girls to pop out. We're just going to have a round table session here. So unmute your mics. And let's have a round table session on what can people do to make money. Well, because you know it's hard. It can be hard when just one parent is bringing an income into the household because the other parent's taking the time to homeschool their kids. Because it really is. You can do both. You can work and homeschool your kids. I know people that do it, but I will say that you have to be very structured and dedicated to do that. So most people do find that they have a single income coming into the household, and for many people it's just not quite enough. So it really makes sense to have that extra income coming in. So what can people do, Michelle and Lena, to bring income into their household? And we'll save the best for last.
Well, we'll save the best for last. Well, I think that I've only experienced the best, so I wouldn't know what to say, honestly speaking. You know, as far as like, I mean, I don't know. There are some people who get really creative like that. They vlog all day long. They put it on YouTube. They share their life with their family, and people watch this. You know, reality TV is in, guys. No one watches TV anymore unless it's like a series. But now people watch YouTube all day long. So, you know, and they follow people's lives. So, yeah, that's one way you can record your children. If you're more of a private person, honestly, I don't know. I've never really endeavored in that in that area. All I know is in the area of marketing. That's really what I touched on, and as soon as I did, let me tell you, it's just been amazing. But I will go as far as saying that I did try a little bit of a traditional network marketing business, which was invite your friends over, have home parties, and go out to meetings and do hotel meetings and stuff like that. And that's really, it wasn't what I was looking for, only because, yeah, I'm home and I want to be home with my children. And what I really wanted was to be able to reach out to the masses, but through the internet. And so I found something like that. I found a company that you can do both. You can either do it online or offline, which is really cool. We have people doing it online and offline, and they're thriving. But yeah, I mean, the company that I'm in, I'm happy with it. I love it. We've got pretty much everything, and that's what I do. You know, it resonated with me. The team is great. So I mean, I've got my friends on here. Look at that. We homeschool parents. You know. So I'm not going to say anything else because, Kimberly, you told me to say the best for last. So I'll leave it.
Michelle, do you have some ideas of something people can do to make some extra money?
Well, it's all going to still pretty much kind of tie back into the whole marketing thing. And just like Zavalina was saying, you got the ones out there that blog and the different things. But I find I actually like tying a lot of it in together because you can turn around and you can do the hangouts that we do, discussing the things that we do, get the interest of other people. Then you turn around, they've got something to watch, something to read. And then if you say you get into being an affiliate of other different companies and things like that, you can put links that are relevant into those blogs. And if people are curious or want to know, they're going to click the links, they're going to buy the book or the product or something else, and there's extra money right there from being at home for something that you just did about being at home, about homeschooling, and it pretty much works out. I like mixing it up. I like playing on all the different social media sites and learning all the different things because there is so many different ways of earning a little bit of extra cash or whatever even as you're learning all of the things. So I die hard marketing, love it.
Awesome. And I feel bad because I've kind of left out my partner in crime here today. I haven't been addressing him much, but he has some awesome ideas because, you know, we've done a lot of things over the years to bring income into our own household. So we're going to give you some ideas, and then we're going to share a little bit about what we feel is the best, especially for homeschool families, because it just, like Zabelina said, it really covers all aspects of living and life and making money. So, honey, what are some tips for people?
Well, the thing is, the one thing that we really like about homeschooling and having our freedom to do that is being able to teach our kids the things that will help them make money. And it all boils down to marketing. It doesn't matter what your passion is. You know, as we've talked, you know, in this hangout here, you know, of our kids kind of just, you know, going through school and things, and eventually you see things that they really are attracted to, like our daughter loves to write, one daughter loves to sing, loves to dance, loves to play video games and learn new things. If our kids know how to market themselves, then they're going to be able to be just fine. And so, you know, with social media, with this incredible technology that allows us to be able to communicate with, you know, a worldwide audience on our passions, if we know how to market that and monetize it, then we're able to teach them, you know, how to basically become financially free and independent. So I think that's the biggest thing, is, you know, teaching our kids, and that's one thing we do, you know, we're encouraging our kids is, and they're wanting to do, is learn how to market themselves, you know, through Facebook and through social media and creating videos, and you know, how to not have to have a job, a job, just over broke, like a lot of people, you know, are in that mindset.
All right. I'm going to turn it upside down because I'm good at that. First of all, I'm going to say you should have a home-based, whether you're a homeschool or not, you need to have a home-based business because of the tax deduction. Why are you giving your money to Uncle Sam when it belongs in your pocket first? No. People who have a regular job, who do they pay first? They pay Uncle Sam. I don't. I pay Uncle Sam last. In fact, I filed an extension so I could pay him very last. Anyway, beyond that, though, here's some ideas of things that we've done in the past. We have done, you know, we've sold products online. We've been affiliates for different companies for ebooks. So it's an offline. We've done other things. We've done franchise, and let me tell you, franchise, that is going to be time-consuming in and of itself. You are going to be tied to that franchise, especially getting started. And it's a lot of upfront money.
A lot of monthly overhead. We had over $10,000 a month in overhead just in rent, plus another $20,000 to $30,000 a month just in product. So a huge nut to crack every month.
Yeah.
A lot of stress.
And, you know, our idea of that was with the homeschooling and our family in mind. But the reality of it was that was never going to work, really. It was, as far as us being able to homeschool our family and have our job, unless we got to the point where we could walk away and hire somebody else to do it, which didn't happen, which at the time was devastating, but now is a blessing. We've also done, you know, you can do crafts and sell them at trade shows, different things like that, where if you have something crafty or soaps you like to make, different stuff, you can sell them. There's groups online where you can actually sell your wares and your products. There are, you know, there's just so many opportunities. When we had our franchise cell phone business, we would go to these trade shows of electronics, like the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, and we would see so many different ideas of things you could do, whether it was, you know, selling accessories for the cell phones or selling, you know, there's so many different avenues that you could take. And it wasn't, you know, Consumer Electronics Show was not just cell phones. It was, you know, home theater systems and all different kinds of stuff. And you could become affiliates for these companies where you could just market their products. You know, there's so many different things. We decided then and there, we'll never work a job again because there's too many opportunities and options available. If something doesn't work out here, we'll just go over here and do this. So there's so many options open to you. If you start looking for it and you start telling yourself opportunity is all around me, you'll start seeing the opportunities all around you. Now, what we found, the best for last, is we found a company And with this company, we're able to have those tax benefits of the home-based business. And included with those tax benefits is a tax program to keep track of all those expenses and training about how to do it, and tax preparers to prepare the taxes for us. And
personal assistant to help us with any type of question.
Yep, and we have a mentorship program to teach us how to do business. We have health and fitness products to keep us motivated and energy, going to get through our day. We also have
personal challenge team that actually will help close our sales for us after we either speak to somebody or our prospects that have questions. They'll answer the questions. They'll actually sign them up in our business and enroll them in our business. So
discounts,
lots of discounts.
Lots of discounts.
Local discounts.
Right.
Literally over 100,000 different discounts at all the different stores and locations that you're actually spending. Very easy to access just for an application on your phone.
And all you coupon moms out there, and dads, mostly moms, you know what? We have coupons, free coupons every day. And so, some people turn that into a business, couponing. Well, we have access to those. We have access to all kinds of perks and freebies. We have access to vacation travel discounts. We have access to
a language program that we
Yes.
actually use in our homeschool program. And up to 80 different languages that you can actually learn. And it's a language program that actually the U.S. military uses. So it's a very, very outstanding program as well.
Exactly. All right, Michelle, Zavalina, what did I miss? What do we have access to, and why do we do this?
I think you pretty much covered it all, girlfriend.
Yeah.
We get discounts online as well. The vacation club. You missed the vacation club. It's like an 80, anywhere between 60 to 80 to 90% discounted prices for vacations. So you missed that 1MD that we have. It's a doctor that you basically can call, or you can go online and Skype with and let them know your symptoms. They'll figure out what it is that you have, write your prescription, send it over. That's in our Explore package. That and the personal assistant is in our Explore package. And the reason why we have a personal assistant is because what's going to happen to you if you go to Mexico and you have no internet connection and you want to know where's the nearest where's the nearest something, You call your personal assistant and he'll let you know, hey, listen, it's over here, turn this way, that way, this way, the other, when you travel the world. So awesome stuff. I mean, pretty much everything under the sun. So I'm happy. I'm very happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, and it's all under one roof and all under one platform, so if you ever get sidetracked or anything else, you just go into your back office and it's all there, and whatever you don't understand, there's video tutorials, everything else, so anytime you need the help. Plus, we also have an amazing team that, you throw your question into the private groups, and you got 20 people jumping on top to help you out, so absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah.
One finance, guys.
Yes. So it's all the things that homeschool families are looking for. How to get out of debt, how to save, manage, and make money, how to be financially and physically fit. All the things that we need, all under one umbrella. I love that. It covers us. We're good to go. And what the amazing thing is we actually get paid when we share these savings and discounts with others. Explain a little bit how that works, Adelina.
Oh man, my bird. He's having a field day right now. Yeah.
He's excited to wake people up, Evelina.
He is. Yeah, guys, it's simple. I mean, like I said before, I've been in other companies where, we only targeted a specific audience. That, for example, I was in a company called Gano Life, and it was organic coffee, and they had Ganoderma in it, right? So yeah, you have that. You only have one target audience that you can reach out to, people who drink coffee. I mean, a lot of people drink coffee, However, it just really wasn't working out for us. And let me tell you, we signed up a lot of people. We had a team of probably over 40 people, and then eventually that grew to a few thousand. And our income was really not even that big. We were bringing in probably no more than $500-600 a month in, with a team of over a few thousand. So it was a little discouraging. Then we went from there to online marketing, and they were saying 100% commissions and stuff like that, and that was all good. But then when I would try to explain to my prospects what it was, they kind of really didn't understand. They're like, "What? What is this? How do you?" And that was targeted to a specific audience as well, people who want to take what they have already and learn how to market it online. So it wasn't really for the new person. Now this, I was able to share it with my friends, my family. They saw it. They saw the deal stream. They saw the one finance. They saw the one MD. They saw the vacation package. And they got it. And I was able to, lock arms with you guys, a team of solid people who really understand what it is to go out there and talk to people. And we call it heart marketing. So, we connect with people, we make friends on the internet, and through that I have a full-time income. Of course, income disclaimer, go to wakeupnow.com/IBS. But yeah, so sorry, I was all over the place with that one. But honestly, how has this been a benefit to me and my family? It's just been an amazing benefit. We've got the team, we've got the products, we've got the training. So I was a newbie. I was seriously a newbie, even though we had a team of over 30 people in our first gig. We really didn't do that knowing what the heck we were doing, But now it's more professional. This is a real business. I can go out there and just share this with anyone and everyone, and they'll get it, So that's how it happened with us. And of course, the power of duplication, like Robert Kiyosaki talks about. You want leverage. You want a business where, God forbid, if you get sick, your residual income is still coming in. Now, for example, with my business now, even though I'm at a full-time income level on a monthly basis, I myself am choosing to work it part-time now. I was working it full-time. Now I'm going to work it part-time. Why am I doing that? Because my daughter's choosing to go off to college. My son and my little one, they want to join into co-ops. So I know that my time is probably going to be a little bit more limited. But does that change my income? It doesn't. It doesn't. My income is still coming in. You know what I mean? If I decide I don't want to work for an entire month, I need a vacation, my income still comes in. Thank you, God. So that's how it's worked out for us. It's been a major blessing, Kimberly and Michelle, and I got to meet you guys. It's been awesome.
Yeah. So you make rock star money, right? Because what that means is you like a rock star cuts a song and they get paid for it forever. Well, that's what we do. That's what we do. We do something one time, and we get to see the benefits of that throughout our lifetime.
Right. Right. You get to set up You get to set up the foundation that then turns into residuals. And once you actually get the concept and you get the information out there and you get it to where you've got people coming to look at it, people that want it, people that need it, people that enjoy it, then it continues to build. And then it doesn't, it pretty much sets itself even on autopilot. That way it gives you that freedom to homeschool during the day or whatever time frame works for your family, and go do the different field trips and go. I mean, the whole idea behind being able to work from home is being able to have that freedom of living the lifestyle, of being able to turn around. If you want to pick up and go on vacation, go on vacation. If you're somebody that, you get the ones that like to do everything from like the craft shows and stuff like that. It gives you that freedom of being able to go and do those things and know that you're building that financial security, because it's working at home for you, or, well, technically online all over the world. That way, you're not having to go, oh my God, I've got to go clock in, I've got to get in my couple hours, because if not, I'm not going to, make it this week, and it takes all that out.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
The one thing that I really love about the company that we're talking about is Wake Up Now. They've been in business since 2009. Recently had some our convention last week, and the day after the convention, the stock doubled. So they're literally the first social distribution network, and I can truthfully say that the products that we have to offer, everybody needs them. There is something there that everybody can use, whether it's One Finance to help a person to get out of debt, to be able to manage their money, and also, again, Kimberly talked about the tax bot. Just an example, we're just looking at taxes. We did about 20,000 miles of traveling last year, and we're looking at almost 56 cents per mile. That is almost $6,500, $7,000 just in tax deductions, just in gas, just in mileage, just for the vehicle. And that doesn't even count, all of our membership dues and our, all the different things that we have as a business owner. See, most people never get to experience the true freedom there is of residual income. But think about this: you have residual bills, right? Why not have residual income? And that's what having a home business will allow you to be able to do. And the goal of the company is that you will save more money a lot more money, but more money every month than it costs you to be able to have this business. And the fact that, Adelina talked about, having thousands of people in an organization that she had built and had an income of $500 to $600 per month. Well, with Wake Up Now, if you just have a group of 12 people in your entire organization, you will actually be earning $600 a monthly residual income every single month. And that's what really gets us excited about this opportunity, because literally there's no other company out there that with such few paying members, they're saving more money than they're spending, and then you can receive an income, consistent income of over $600 a month, and then after that, the sky's the limit, literally.
So really, think about, what would an extra $600 do to your household right now? What would that mean for you? That might be a car payment, a couple car payments, maybe part of your house payment. That that could really, a rent payment for a small family that's not in New York. It can make a huge difference. The statistics still show to this day that to save most people from bankruptcy, all they need is an extra $500 a month. That's it. Let's go out and wake people up. Let's wake them up to what the opportunities are. If you've been watching us, we've shared how to get started in homeschooling. We've shared how to get started in different ideas in making money. And if you resonate with that and you want to work with us directly, click that green the green button below us. Whatever color button it is. It may be a different color on someone else's page. But click that button. Click that Get Started button, because your family depends on it. You depend on it. Everyone wants to save money. Everyone wants to have that extra income coming in. We have the support team, the structure in place. Connect with us. We want to help you. We want to help you whether it's homeschool questions, whether it's business questions. That's the kind of support and network we have. We have private Facebook groups where we can help you out, and we can answer your questions and help get you started, either in homeschool or business or both. But click that button below, get started on this journey with us, and we'll see you next week, where we'll be discussing another hot topic. With that, make it a fabulous day.
Bye.
Bye.